guys, this is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now, this time, I decided to give you guys a little bit of a bonus episode here for the Muppet Vlogs, and instead of talking about an actual episode of the Muppet Show, I decided I'm going to scavenger around, like, the bonus features that they actually have on this box set, and they do have one interesting one that I think I would like to go into and just discuss about, which is actually the original pitch reel to go and sell the Muppet Show. Now, what's actually very interesting with it is that, well, as you guys know, you gotta go and create a pitch in order to actually go and make a show or a movie. You need to make something that the investors and the producers should actually be interested in it to give you the money to go and create the show. So what Jim Henson actually did is that he decided to take a step further and be a little bit creative with it. Now, in this one, the host of, like, what we got in this pitch is not necessarily a familiar Muppet that we know. It's not really the Muppet Newsflash guy. It's not really Kermit. It's none of those. This was long before that Jim Henson or any of the Muppet crew actually had an idea of what the Muppet Show would be. So you pretty much got this standard Muppets news reporter pretty much talking to the investors why they should go and buy the Muppet Show. And I gotta say, this is actually a really funny and interesting pitch to check out, because not only does it highlight why they should go and buy it, but it also highlights the tone and the humor of what the Muppets would be. One of the big highlights is mostly how they mostly joke around in there, how they would talk about, like, why kids and adults would like it, saying that, well, kids will like it because of the cute characters, teens will like the humor of it, college kids and intellectual eggheads will love the weird symbolism that's in there, and also the weird dirty hippies will also like the weird dirty Muppets. That's pretty much the overall tone that it will be there. And what's also interesting is that they even mentioned some of the investors who would give the money to them by name, and pretty much really selling the point of how the Muppet Show will be really, really big and will also make everybody big. Like, whoever will be involved with the Muppet Show will end up being superstars in their own name, not just the Muppets, not just CBS, which is what the American station they did, like, who they're trying to sell to, but also many of the producers that they have mentioned. They're not really well-known names. Like, okay, maybe it's kind of an exaggeration when the pitch actually mentioned that these producers will be household names, because clearly that did not happen. I just saw it a few minutes ago, and even I just forgot what they are. But yeah, the thing is that it really is interesting how they directly try to mention it to them. And yeah, by the way, that is another interesting little tidbit I would like to mention, is because what's interesting about the Muppet Show is that everything was actually made in England. Like, all the Jim Henson works, they're actually, like, their shops are currently, and they always had been, in England. So, they could easily secure a spot in UK television, but this entire pitch was made so that the Americans could get it as well. And considering that Jim Henson has already got an easy sweet spot with what he did with Sesame Street, which they did mention, by the way, because this is kind of a collab. They did mention at the beginning of how, this would be a collaboration between Jim Henson and there's another guy, I believe George Shaw or something like that. But yeah, so pretty much you got Jim Henson, the innovator of puppets for television, and also you got George something. I don't know what it is. Is that, I don't know. For this episode, I completely forget the names of people other than Jim Henson, because that's the most obvious one. But George, who's pretty much the guy who really revolutionized, or maybe revolutionized is a really exaggerated term, but like he really pushed far in creating some highly successful sitcoms. So saying that by combining these two, they would go and create the Muppet Show. But what is actually interesting, though, is that they actually did sell the point that Kermit would be the star. It's only until the end where they would say that everybody will be happy and then Kermit's mother will be happy. And then it ends off with a bit of a parody of like the painting with God and Adam like almost touching fingers, where like you would see God giving a 40s share to Kermit. So this must have been made like a little bit later when they finally got a bit more of an idea of what they want to do with the Muppet Show. This was probably created sometime after Kermit, like they established that Kermit would be the host and star of the Muppet Show. So that's what I do find pretty interesting. I guess like they wanted to establish fully what they are as a show first before going into the US market and actually actually release the Muppet Show in the US. Because if you have seen the previous pilot episodes, Kermit was nowhere near the Muppet Show whatsoever. Not in the Valentine's Day special, not even in the Sex and Violence pilot. Like, they weren't, like, Kermit wasn't anywhere because they wanted to create their own Muppets. They wanted to create Muppets exclusively to the Muppet Show and not really have some kind of spin-off feeling to it. Like, they wouldn't think about bringing in, like, either Kermit or Ernie and Bert or Big Bird into this. So, like, I guess they don't want to have too much of a connection to Sesame Street because they want to try to sell for an older audience other than children. So, I guess, but it's still kind of fascinating, the timeline of this pitch. But overall, I would say that's pretty much it with the pitch reel. And if you do have an interest in either Jim Henson, the Muppets, or Sesame Street, or anything that surrounds the world of Jim Henson, I do highly suggest that you check out the pitch reel. It's actually quite an interesting thing to watch, and it's kind of fascinating to see like where they would have an idea of the humor and the tone and the style of what they want to do with the Muppet Show. It really is interesting, and you definitely have to go check it out. So that's pretty much it with this episode of the Muppet Vlog. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me in this little extra tidbit episode. And in a way, if I would be crazy enough to actually release the Muppet Vlogs onto DVD or something, this would be a little thing that I would count onto the bonus features. But yeah, like, so thank you so much for watching this bonus episode, and tune in next time, and we'll see what we got with Season 2 of The Muppet Show, and we'll see more of the antics of what they got there. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see you later, dudes!